Okay, so I'm Jordana, and I'm going to be doing my topic on option number 5, which is blackface and minstrels. And so basically, I actually kind of sided between these two topics. I wanted to do theater as a bridge because originally I'm an entrepreneurship student, and so this seemed like a good topic for me because it would be easy to talk about like what business decisions I would do and my mission statement because we're covering that in my classes. But I actually have found myself more interested in this topic of blackface in theater because race has always been like a it's always been a topic that I like to cover and stuff. And so when I've been doing the unit reviews, I found that like the easiest questions to pick and answer have always been like the questions about like Jim Crow or something like that. So I've done a little bit of research. Most of my research originally was for theater as a bridge, and I did a lot of research on Tempe. So I'm just kind of composing a little of my information now. But what I do have is some basic like imagery I printed off, which is like racist black stereotypes, and I have like a picture of like what Jim Crow looked like, and then this guy is Zip Coon, and these two figures later on in history they are combined together, and that's where we get the term coon. And then I got some other people. Like, this is just my own research, but like this lady and then Uncle Tom, we talk about him in chapter 7 of our textbook, which I also have as a resource. But this lady, which is kind of interesting, this has always been kind of a stereotype. This lady right here is Mammy, and she's actually seen as like Aunt Jemima on the syrup bottles and stuff. Like you see her there and stuff. So I've got a couple different people, just stereotypes and stuff. I started actually found this source by looking up Jim Crow originally, jumping Jim Crow to see what his song meant, and then I found all these like representations back in history of all these people and how like they're still used today. But I've done a little bit of research from in like the 1930s of like some well-known like white people that tried to be black people by using the black faced paint, and then also did a little bit of research on this guy named I think his name was Burt Williams, and he was the most highly paid black. He was actually black, but he still painted his face black, so he was the most highly paid African American entertainers of that time. So here's my sources. These are the ones I do currently have and I have planned on using. I've got one online source from ASU. So I use the library, and they actually have Cultural Wars and an encyclopedia on it. So I've got an encyclopedia on particularly Cultural Wars, and somewhere in there it talks specifically about blackface. Um, I also have a book called Blackface Cuba. Also, this is also another online source from ASU. I didn't bother to pick up the book, but I do have it. I'd have a PDF version on my computer saved right now. And then I went to Mesa Community College the other day because I volunteer at the Rose Garden there. And so I was at the library after just getting a drink and stuff, and I looked up some things in that area, and I found a book called Love and Theft: Blackface Minstrelsy and the American Working Class. So that's a book that I've been reading, and that was actually written this year, 2013. So it was kind of interesting that they had it, and that's why I picked it up, was because when I asked the librarian, she told me about it. So I haven't done a whole lot of research on that book, but I do have it as a source that I will be using. And then following that, I've looked on Google Scholar, and then I've found stuff about the burnt cork mask. I wasn't sure what the burnt cork mask was. I thought it was just the paint and stuff, which it kind of really is. So I got a little source on that. So behind the burnt cork mask and early blackface. Um, so those are the start of my sources. So I got 4 sources right now, and I'm just kind of starting right now to write the paper. Well, I'm actually starting to write the outline because there's like a lot of different things that I've learned. I still have a lot of research to do because I'm taking like a side, if you might say. I'm writing it from a different point of view. I'm not being neutral. What I'm saying is, when I write this paper, I'm not writing this in a neutral point of view. I'm writing this either pro or con, and you'll find out when you read my paper. So that's it. And that's what I've gathered so far.